Hello and welcome to Creating with Shannon and Pick and Boots YouTube channel. We are going to finish up a graduation project that we started last week. Got a lot of work to do, so we're going to go ahead and get started real quick. I'm going to recap what we did last week. I'll pull it up on my screen. So this is the board we're going to put the final thing on, but we did the snip art. We finished this. The little snip art frame, and there's several layers. We decoupaged the first layer, painted the second layer, and then we painted the goldish yellow color, and then we put the velvet powder on this layer. So today I have all the little pictures that I need for the frames that we did. I have them in different sizes. So we are going to do kindergarten through 12th on this board. Today is actually my baby, his last day of high school. Yesterday he turned 18. Today is his last day of high school. So this is a perfect little project. He graduates actually though in about a week and a half. So I'll have this done for when we have our little graduation party at the house. Everybody can look at all of his pictures from kindergarten through senior year. Let's get started. So the first thing we need to do is we need to do something with this board. And it's just one of the panels. It's the IOD, the little block panels. This one is one of the bigger ones. It's a square. It doesn't even fit all the way in the frame, but you'll get the idea. What we're going to do is we're going to use some of the Dixie Belle VooDoo gel stains. Now these are actually water-based, so these are really good. So I have in front of me, I have the Tobacco Road, which is a deep brown, and then I have the white, and I have Au Naturel, which is my favorite. This one will turn dark wood into a light color. It looks like almost a bleached wood. It's beautiful. So, but before we get started, I'm going to put on gloves because, my hands are already pretty bad from being at the shop early and working on different projects. But this is a lot of, this is stain. So this will leave, it stays on a little, even though it's water-based, it stays on pretty good. So I just want to, get them covered because I'm also going to be using some antiquing gel by Pentart, and I'm going to definitely need them because my hands will get filthy. So I'll probably just do the whole DIY today, the whole live with the gloves on. So, okay, so first thing we need to do is we're going to go ahead and stain this board. We're going to start with the Tobacco Road, and then we'll work in a little bit of the white and the Au Naturel just to give it kind of like a drift woodishy color. One little tip that I'll give you is whenever you're going to use the VooDoo gel stain, don't put it directly, don't squeeze it out directly in your wood, or it'll leave a mark exactly where you put it because it is naked wood and it's just going to absorb and suck in all of the color. So just give it a little spritz. I'm going to use my little handy dandy sprayer and just going to let that sit for a second. Now what I'm going to do is the thing that's really important is with this VooDoo, like the first time I used the VooDoo, I was like, not a fan. But then once I shook the jar and retried it, I was like, oh, now I get it. All right, so I'm going to give us a good, like some people will take the colors and put them out and then whoosh them all around. I'm just going to start with this first, and then I'll add, because I want the majority of it to be a brown. And I'm going to go ahead and normally I use a big pad, but this is such a little surface. I'm just going to use my little, what's this, sponge brush. I like to put it directly on whatever I'm applying it with. So look how pretty that is. Isn't that nice? Whoop! Overshot it just a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give this a nice coat first, and then I'll go back in and add the other colors. What's really nice about this Dixie Belle stain, it's the water-based one, is that it dries super quick. Not like a traditional stain or other gel stain, which will take a lot longer to dry. But see, look at the nice color it gives it. Okay, now I gotta get this side. That's gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. All right, I'm gonna get this a little bit wet again because this part seemed to dry a little fast. All right. I am in Florida, and it's going to be like 90 something today. One person told me it was going to be 94. Somebody else told me it was going to be 95. Regardless, it's going to be 90 hot. All right, so there is the first layer, and I just have, this is just the Tobacco Road. See how that changed so much? Okay, now we're going to work in a little bit of the au naturel and the white. But you got to give them a good shake. You want to make sure it's all mixed up. And I'm only going to put in a few places just to give it a little bit of some highlights. Oops. Well, I squeezed out a little bit more than I wanted to, but I love, look at the colors. It's really pretty. So I don't even think I'm going to use the white. I think I like this color. And this is just the au naturel over the Tobacco Road. Need just a little bit more over here. Okay. Hey Cheryl, thanks for joining me. All right, so look, see how beautiful that is? So I can leave it. Hey Francesca. Yeah, this VooDoo gel stain is amazing, and it's super quick. I just did this really cool table at the store, and I liked it so much I'm going to keep it. My husband doesn't know that yet, but he'll find out. For Mother's Day, I think I'm going to have the boys go up to the shop and pick it up. All right, so here's the board. To see how quick and easy that was, this is what it looked like before. And now it looks a little bit, it actually looks kind of similar, but it really isn't in person. On the camera, it looks a little bit the same. So now that this is stained, it'll be dry in a few minutes. So let's go ahead and let me show you what this looks like now. So here we have, so remember this frame here? This is going to be our focal point because this is his senior picture is going to go in here. And then what I did, I just went ahead and I just did some resin molds only because I didn't want to have to take the time. Even though it is quick set resin, I needed 11 of them, so I just went ahead and did it ahead of time so we can go ahead and put the pictures in them, paint them, and get them on the board. So I think for this part I need to take my gloves off, but I'm going to save them because I'm going to need them in a second. So what I decided to do, instead of using pictures that are on printer paper, photography paper, like the real thick stuff, I printed them on my laser printer, so that way I can just go ahead and I can decoupage them on. Now, this frame doesn't have a back, but it did, if you remember, it had the center. So what I'll do is I'll put a senior, and I'll just put it right on here. Let's see. I get to meet Michelle Cook from Australia next week. I love the picture of her and you and Aaron at Flourish. Yes, oh my gosh, it was so fun. Michelle is awesome. You will love her. Make sure you tell her, make sure you tell her that I say hello. So you get to meet her. So you must be going to that creative retreat, I think. Uh-oh. Facebook is acting cranky. Yeah, I'm using a third-party software to stream into Facebook, and Facebook doesn't like that. Facebook wants you to use their stuff, but I like this program because I can do all kinds of fun stuff with it. So, wow, Cheryl, on my screen you went from blue to red. So blue is Facebook, red is YouTube. So I know where everybody's joining me from. So Cheryl, thanks for joining me over on YouTube. Okay, so here is the circle, and I'm just going to capture him. I won't get a lot of the 2023, but that's okay because I have come up with another idea for that. What's the most important is that I get his little beautiful face. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it pretty easy. I'm just going to lay it on top of the oval, and I'm just going to crease it with my finger so I'll get an outline. And then I can cut it. I'm at LJ. Oh, okay. Yeah, I know. Lynn. I don't know her, but I've seen some of her videos. She seems very sweet. Tell them all hello. Okay, so now I have a crease of where I put where it's going to fit on here. So I can either cut that out or I can just decoupage it right on and take a sander. But since I already did that, I'll just go ahead and cut real quick. Hopefully I can stay on the lines and not make it too jagged. Thank you. Isn't he cute? This is my baby. Just turned 18 yesterday. And then I have another one. Today's his birthday. He is 27 today. Woo! All right. There we go. So he's cut out, and I'll decoupage him on here. Now, normally you want to, generally you want to paint the back white so your picture pops a little more, but this is such a good print. It's popping just enough for me. So I'm just going to go ahead and decoupage that on. And I'm simply going to use the Pentart varnishing glue, and I'm using matte. All right, so and there's all different kinds of decoupage mediums. You just use whatever is best for you. There's Mod Podge. Some people will use clear coats from their paint lines. I carry the Pentart in the shop and online, so I do like this. Mod Podge seems to be a little bit thicker. Clear coat seems to be a little thinner. This happens to be like just right in the middle. It's good for me. I like this one. Okay, so that is on. I really don't have to worry about wrinkling because it's not that big of a piece. And he just fits beautiful right there. I do have a little bit sticking out over here, but I think though, once I put, here it is. Once I put the little frame around it, it's just going to be perfect. Look at that. Ah, I still cannot believe my baby is graduating. Okay, so I want to go back and get the edges because I just want to make sure that his little face is down on this wood and it's not going to come off. Hey, Erin. Oh my gosh, I am going to see you real soon, aren't I? I'm so excited. I can't stay the whole time. I have to leave a little early, but it was either go for a shorter time or not go at all, and I opted to just go for a shorter time. Okay. Now I'm just going to give a once over. And then his senior portrait will be done. It can dry, and then we will, if it's dry enough, which it should be, we'll put it on in a little bit. There we go. He has no idea I'm making this, but we're going to hang this for his graduation. We're going to have family over for lunch after a ceremony, and everybody will be able to see all of his little pictures from kindergarten all the way to senior year. All right, so I'm going to put that to the side. Now, let's look at some of his other ones. actually, I'm going to leave this out. So I have some different photos, different years, and I have different sizes to fit different frames. Cheryl, I have 4. I have a stepdaughter who is 33 and has 2 babies, 2 sons. So I have 2 grandbabies, and then my husband's oldest is 27, and then my daughter's 20, and my son just turned 18. So and then we have a lot of animals. He is super excited, Francesca. Yes, he is. He likes the social aspect of school, not so much the academic part, but he does well. So that's all I can ask. All right, let me show you the molds that I have here. I've already made these. I use a resin. You can use air dry clay, or you can use the quick set resin, or you can use overnight resin, and you can actually use some alcohol inks to dye this. So the clear would become like purple or green, whatever colors you wanted to do. I chose to leave them white, mainly because when I stick these on, they'll make these pictures pop. And then I'm just going to paint around it. And I'll probably just use antiquing gel. So now this is the part that's going to take a little bit of time. It's just assembling all of them. And it's going to be fun, but it's going to be a little time consuming. I also have this little frame here, which I thought would be cute if I put, like maybe in the corner, the 2-3. For his year, and maybe assemble it down here. So I still don't know the layout, so you might be able to help me with that. Maybe do it here. Definitely want to put his little, the big one probably in the center. No, I could have it over here. I'm not going to glue anything down until I get all of his little frames done and ready. Okay, so let's start with some of the pictures. Let's go to kindergarten. So I have the choice of either using his little picture here. That's the one, his school picture, but I love this one. This is a little cap and gown from kindergarten, so I'll probably just use that one. And it's a monumental one, so we'll put it on. Let's see. We're gonna put it right. Look at, I have 2 different sizes. So let's see if it's gonna fit in here. What I'm gonna do is, there is a crease here, so I'll just sit it down right in here. And I'll see if it fits. So this one's just, this size is too big, so I'm going to use this size. And again, what I'll do is I'll just use my finger to get a crease. And then I'll know how I cut it. And actually, maybe I'll use the edge of the... Bear with me. All right. There we go. Well, maybe I should just... Where is my... If I could get my X-Acto knife, maybe I should use my X-Acto knife. Well, not everything gets put back. Let's see if this will work. I'm just looking for a crease without cutting it. That's going to cut it. That's okay, though. Actually, this works kind of nice. I don't have to worry about cutting myself either. All right, there we go. One more side. Okay, let's take a peek and see how this turned out. So we'll put his little face in there. Look at that. I'm just going to clean up the edges a little bit with my scissors. That was not the way I intended to cut that picture, but it just happened to work. So then we'll put his little guy, this little guy right there. This is a kindergarten one. Now what I was thinking about doing was using the black antiquing gel and it's called ochre. because his school colors are black and gold, black and yellow. So just mixing the different frames around. And I'm just wondering if I should gel stain it before. I probably should, just in case. Because I can be a little messy crafter. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get a little brush. And I'm going to put my gloves back on because this is messy. And definitely, when you're using resin, always keep your gloves on, being a well-ventilated area. Okay. So let's do this one first. And I'm going to try to keep the gel stain on the frame itself, not the center where I'm going to put his picture. Now, the antiquing gel is an awesome product. It can go right on your resin. What you do is you just paint it on, and then you can wipe it back. Or you can leave it painted on just like this. It's always nice, though, to try to get the excess off. But that's a beautiful color, right? If you saw the video, I use this on the top of that mushroom that I put when I put the hidden hollow mold on that little mushroom that I painted. This was the top color. This gel stain. Not gel stain, antiquing gel. This is by Pentart. I do sell it, but then a lot of the other people that have Pentart or Decoupage Queen, they sell it too. Okay, so now there's a little part of the inside of the frame. I just want to make sure I get that real quick. Ever since I've been back from the IOD conference, I've just been trying to catch up. But there's so much going on between the store, videos, family, graduation. My niece is getting married. I have to go out of town again. But, okay, now look how beautiful that is. Isn't that gorgeous? All right, so we're going to let that one dry. I'll just put it right here. That is our kindergarten. That's kindergarten. Since I already have the antiquing gel out, I should probably go ahead and do a couple more. So I'm only going to be using the 2 colors. So I'll just do half of them in the ochre, and then I'll do the other half in black. But you can see how easily it goes on. I didn't really have to wipe in that back because there's not a lot extra on there. But you can wipe it back with either paper towel, a lint-free rag. When I first started carrying the antiquing gel, when I saw this color in the jar, I was like, ooh, I will never use that. But surprisingly, it does go on really pretty. Getting a little in the middle there. Hopefully it won't show through when I put a picture in the frame. This stuff can be kind of messy. All right. Wipe my finger off. I'm just going to see what it looks like with a little bit of, let me show you. I'm just dabbing it and getting some off. I'm not wiping all of it off. I'm just kind of dabbing it just a little bit. Isn't that pretty? All right, we'll do a couple more with this. I definitely want to have at least one of each of the style of frames with each color. Again, the mold I used was from Iron Orchid Designs. It's the Frames mold. It was the first one they came out with. They now have a different one called Frames 2. If you happen to be catching this on the replay, if you didn't catch me live, make sure you hashtag replay. Let me know you saw it, and let me know what you think of these little frames. Oops. And if you're watching on YouTube, I'd appreciate it if you gave me a follow, or you can even turn on notifications so you get notified when I go live. I try to go live every Thursday at 1:45 with some kind of fun project. The Creating with Shannon page on Facebook is a little different than my Pick and Boots page on Facebook. Picking Boots is more for the store and furniture, and the Creating with Shannon is more me, more fun stuff. I actually do this stuff from home. But on YouTube, I put it all together. So if you're watching on YouTube, you get it all. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. I need, oh, this little guy. Now this one is really cute. I love this one. This one reminds me of an actual like gold frame. I have a couple of these in the store and they're beautiful. The antique ones. Or vintage, whatever. All right. And these should dry pretty fairly quickly, so what I might do is do the ochre and then we'll put some pictures in just so you can see. And then maybe I'll finish up offline. We'll see. When I was at the store earlier, I picked up a table and I hurt my back, but sitting down and relaxing here, doing this, is making my back feel so much better. There we go. Let me wipe this one off. I don't think I dabbed this one. Oops. There we go. I'm hoping that these polka dots where I got a little bit messy shouldn't affect my pictures. All right. So let's see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 left. So let me just do one more real quick. Let me do one more real quick. Let me do the circle one, and then we're going to stick some in. I really like this one. This one's, it might be a little frilly for a boy, but you know what? All frames are supposed to be decorative and fancy. When this antiquing gel dries, I can even put some black wax over it just to highlight the details on these frames, because there are a lot of details. The sisters do a really good job. Every time they come out with a mold, a stamp, paint inlay, everything always has such good detail. All right, let me stick that over here. I'm going to dab off a little extra here. All right, so there we have that. Put that over here. Put that out of the way. So that was the antiquing gel. This was ochre. I think that's how you say it. Now, let's put his little kindergarten picture right in this little frame. These are still just a smidge wet. Okay. So I'm just applying the decoupage medium to the white part where I've measured his little picture where it's going to fit. I have a little bit of it pulled up. I want to try to get that flat so there's no bubble. Okay. Oh. Now this is printer paper, so it will, there we go. It's not as thick as photo paper, but it's a little thicker than normal decoupage. There we go. Oh, he's so cute. I'm going to zoom in on this just so you can see it a little better. All right, I'm just making sure that I have the entire piece of this paper down and decoupaged. There we go. So there is kindergarten. I love it. All right. Let's go ahead and measure a few more of these. And let's see. I really, really, really like this one. This is his junior year picture. This was before prom. For some reason, I don't have any pictures from his school for 10th and 11th grade. Or senior year. I don't know what happened. I do have his freshman picture. I know I pay for this stuff, but somehow these pictures never end up coming home. Anybody else out there? I don't understand. It gets lost in his backpack, or maybe the payment never made it to school. Thanks, Cheryl. Isn't that darling? Oh, all right. So I'm going to use a big frame. I'll use the other gold one, but it's still wet. So I'm going to measure with the dry one. Let me see. I'm going to leave it zoomed in a little bit so you can see it better. There we go. So I'm going to put him up here. Maybe put it right there so you can see it. Yay. All right, so we're going to do, I'm just going to push down and kind of get these are a little difficult because they're concave. I just want to get a little bit of an impression on my paper. There we go. So can you see the indentation? See that? So now I know where to cut it. I'm going to zoom back out just a scotch because I think that's really close. I just really wanted to show you his little picture. There we go. That's better. Okay, so let's cut this. All right. Let's see. All right. So I think it's a little big for this, so I'm going to cut it down just a little bit around. I think when I was pressing down, I was hitting the lip, so I just want to trim it just a little bit. I'd rather it fit a little small than be too big. There we go. A little bit off the bottom. Oh, hey, Lulu. No, actually what I'm doing, this is his senior photo. I'm making a kindergarten through 12th grade wall hanging. Let me show you. I'll zoom out so you can see it. See, it's a board. We stay in the board. Now I have all these little frames. I have all those pictures we're going to do. Kindergarten through 12th grade for graduation. Okay, so we're going to put him right there in the gold. Look at how handsome he looks. Let me zoom back this one in a little bit. He would probably, I don't know how he would feel about me sharing this with everybody, but he'll probably be fine. He's a handsome little guy. Again, today is his last day of school. He was taking finals today, and then he has prom this weekend, and then we have graduation. Okay, let me put that on here. It's still a little bit tall. Whoops. Take it just a little bit more off. There we go. There we go. Perfect. These frames are a little bit rounded, so makes it a little bit difficult to get it on and without having a little wrinkle. But I'll just make sure when I put this coat of decoupage medium over, I just kind of push down from the center out so there's no wrinkles. There we go. In this decoupage medium, obviously, that'll dry clear. There we go. So now we have 2 done. Ta-da! This is going to be so cute. Let's see. I've been on for 35 minutes. Yes, it's a collage. A kindergarten through 12th grade collage. All right, let's do, I'm going to do one more. Let's do this one. Maybe I'll do one for each of the different frames. Then I'll finish offline. I'll post a picture of the final project. Okay, now look at this. This is one little boy who had a little bit of a difficult time smiling. Look at that. But you know, that's going to fit perfect right in this little frame. There you go. So I'm just going to yes, it does. It does make it difficult. So I'm just using my fingernail and I'm getting kind of an impression of where I need to cut. These will not be perfect, but it's going to be cute regardless. All right, let's see how that fits. Yep, a little bit big. Right? We all have them. We have memories of our own, you know, from each grade, but then we have memories of our children when, you know, did different grades when they were in, just different things that they did, and it's just, I was always told how time flies. Well, now that I'm older, I really, really understand that. When you're younger, I tell you what, you don't really, oh yeah, sure. But now that every year seems to go faster and faster. All right. Get a nice little layer of decoupage on here for my picture. I believe this is first grade. Look at that. There's a little wrinkle right on his face, but that's all right. I love it. All right, so let me just go ahead and show you what the black antiquing gel looks like before I sign off and finish this. Let me get another glove on again because this stuff is messy, but it works. It works fabulous. Again, this is the antiquing gel. This is by Pentart. This is the black. Oops. Yep. And I just wear gloves because it gets kind of messy, and I don't want to get my hands all messy. So let's start with, let's do this one. This one's. So this will look good. Again, his school colors are black and gold, so this just looks perfect. And I'm thinking, because see all this amazing detail on these frames, that I might go in with the gold gilding wax and just dust a little bit on here, just to add a little bit of dimension to the frames. And you can paint these also, but I like the gel. I can wipe it back and get a more translucent look, or I can leave it painted like this and leave it like these colors. Very true. They do. That's very funny. All right, let's get some of this. So make sure I get the edges real quick. And let me get a little rag. So I can leave it heavy like this, or I can pat it back, wipe it back just a little bit. Get the excess off. And that's what the black one looks like. So let's take a peek at what one will look like inside. Oh, look at this. I just thought of this. I have this one without the concave part on it. I can just use that as a guide to cut out my picture. Let's do... Oh, wait. Let's do this one. So I'm just going to sit this down here for a second and move that. And then I'm going to take my pen and trace it. And I can cut it from there. Well, I just kind of cut his... Darn it. There we go. Do it this way. It's a pencil, so you can't really see it. Let's see if I can erase that little line. Oh, yeah. All right, let me cut that, and then we're going to stick it in the black frame just so you can see what it looks like with the black. Hopefully I've... Yep. All right. My decoupage medium. Just trying to make sure I have all the sides. All right, here we go. Put his little face right there. So this is what it looks like in the black. Let me just get it pushed down so it sticks. Oops. All right. So there we go. Now what I'll do is around the whole board here, let me zoom out, whoops, zoom out. There's the board. So what I'll do is I'll finish up the rest of these and then I'll layer them around and I'll take a picture and I'll post it on both Facebook. There's a feed in YouTube. I'll do it on there too. Real quick though, before I do that, I just want to show you. So here's this is black wax paste. I'm going to put a little bit on the frame just so you can see what it'll do to the... Let me zoom in on that so you can see. There we go. And I'm just going to use my finger. You can use a paintbrush. You can use finger. I like to use my finger. So see, it's just subtle. I'm going to get Fort Myers to meet you someday. Yes, you should. Come see us. Come see me. We can craft together. Look at that. So it's not too bold. It's just subtle enough. Look at that. See the black on there? Just highlights some more of the detail. Look at that. That's beautiful. Perfect. Did you hear? Oh yeah, Royce. That was I had that picture up from when I did a live video. I think I did. I posted. I think I did last week. I put that picture up talking about my trip, and it's just in my folder. I hit the wrong button. There is a. Oh, Michaela. Thank you. There's a small airport that's near me, like for the private jets that flies overhead all the time. So that's why you hear that. So. All right, so that's the black on the gold. So let me show you what the gold looks like on the black. And it's going to kind of look like these. Let me pop this off. Now this one is the Dixie Belle, the gilding wax. This is the best. This is my favorite. So again, I'm just going to use my finger. Now this is a little wet, so I'm only going to do just part right here, just so you can see it. There, now look at that. Isn't that pretty? Let me do a little bit more. Ooh, isn't that gorgeous? This gold, I can't stop. It just adds a little bit more of an element to the frame. So now you can see these two here. The black on top of the ochre. And then this one, the gold on top of the black. And which goes back to last week when we were doing this snip art layered frame. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay it all out, put all the pictures on, and then I will, let me show my little face. Take some pictures. Yes, Page Field, exactly. It's probably from here to my Page Field as a crow flies is probably 2 miles. No, you had it right the first time. Page. Yeah, so we just happen to be in the flight pattern when the big private jets take off. I'm so used to it, I don't even notice them anymore. All right, so thank you for joining me today. I'll be back on next Thursday to, I don't know what I'm going to do, but we're going to have fun. We'll do some other neat project, and I can't wait to finish this. Look at this. Hopefully he will like this, but he doesn't get to keep it. This is mine. And now I'll probably have to do one for all of the other kids too. Anyway, thank you for joining me. Have a fabulous day and keep creating. Have fun. Enjoy.